Alright guys, we apologize ahead of time. This episode might feel rushed. I'm sorry, but we hope you still enjoy it. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of Weekly Talk featuring Chris, and to my left is
Danny.
So I guess it's actually featuring Danny and Chris, whatever. So no real emails this week, which is fucking relieving. But we did get one. Dude wants us to say happy birthday to his wife. We will tell your wife happy birthday around that time. Please email us a little bit more information so that we can give you advice on what to get her. Ryan Silva at work, he told me that Shelby, his girlfriend, pretty good friend of mine, pretty cool kid, his girlfriend, her birthday was one day after our last podcast. So let's go ahead and say happy birthday to Shelby.
Happy birthday, Shelby.
Happy birthday, Shelby. I hope you're listening. If not, that was a waste of my time. No, I'm joking. All right, so we got a lot planned for this week. And it kind of sucks because we just got off work and we're tired, but we're committed. So here we go. Don't roll your eyes. Mm-hmm. What do you got, Danny? I want you to start it off.
Oh, come on, Chris. You always bring up the topic.
She's right, I do.
Well, I guess I was just talking shit like 2 minutes ago about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, I did mad research on him.
Mad research.
Then at the last minute, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about him because he's...
Well, all right, so here's the deal.
Stupid.
He's turning down the protective custody, which I'm pretty sure everybody here, or witness protection, I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
kind of
stupid.
Do you think he can pursue a career in rap still? Do you think anybody gives a fuck that he was a snitch?
I think it's like 50-50. I don't think he make it very far in like the rap gang, I guess. I think he still have followers.
Well, he's got Charlie Puth wanting to produce his next album completely free, which is pretty crazy. Charlie Puth has been known to be a pretty decent producer and composer. I don't know, man. I'm really not fucking with the Tekashi stories, though. I'm not...
Did you hear how he's going to protect himself, though?
24/7 security, right? Is that what he said?
I'm like, you first thought you're going to afford that. Security in the first part.
I don't know how much money you got, but that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you do well in your music career because you're going to need a lot of security for the rest of your life.
Did you hear about the Emmys? I think it's called the Emmys, the award show.
I mean, I know they have the Emmys, but...
Did you hear what the Kardashians said?
Oh, non-scripted reality TV.
Yeah, they said that we are real people being themselves, all right? They got laughed at. Could you imagine being in a room full of what you think is your peers and they just dog you?
They said they insist it's not scripted, but come on. It is freaking scripted. Like, yeah, it's your life, but media has a lot to play with how you do things. I'm saying it's scripted, but whatever.
Oh, back to that whole 6ix9ine thing. I did read that The Game, the rapper, he said he actually felt sad for the guy. And here's what he says. I feel sad for a lot of the kids that's getting into this shit and don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're claiming to be something they are not, and this is how it turns out. So at this point, he's got to do what he has to do to save himself, but snitching ain't the way, partner. That's what he said. And I agree with him, man. You join that lifestyle. Don't be a bitch, dude. Come on. Do you think he knew he was joining that lifestyle?
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I feel like, do you think it was like clout chasing? Do you think that he only tried to do it?
I hate that word. I really hate that word. It's like dumb. Clout.
But it's a real word.
It's dumb as shit. I hate that word.
Danny hates the word clout, and she hates rabbit hole. So I got two people.
Attention. Getting the attention. Like, for real.
Yeah, but that's what clout is.
I don't care. I hate that word.
I get it. Back in the day, it was used, as like early MGK raps. I did this with no clout. I did this with no attention, pretty much.
I don't care. I hate that word.
So back to what I was saying. We got two people ready to do a little phone call because of everything going on with GM. I kind of wanted to talk to my buddy who's actually being impacted by it. So I'm going to call him up, and you're actually going to, hopefully he answers. You're going to hear me dial him up. Here we go. Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Hello.
Charlie. Hey, Charlie, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes.
All right. So here's how this is working. You are connected to a device through Bluetooth. We don't have very good service, so you're also connected to my Wi-Fi calling, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I've been reading everything about the UAW and GM, and pretty much, like, nobody really knows what it means, all right? So I figured I'd call you and ask how you've been impacted and pretty much, what's going on.
Sounds good.
All right, so go ahead and tell everybody who's listening who you are and why you are significant to this conversation.
Charlie Dillon. I work at General Motors. Transferred from Lordstown, Ohio. I'm now in Flint, Michigan.
Now, how did that go down? How did the transfer play out?
Well, I was laid off. They closed the plant obviously last year, this past spring, and we were just left with either getting forced moved to somewhere or putting in for a plant, and I chose Flint, Michigan, and that's where I'm at.
Did you choose that because it's like the closest to us, or what was your?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's closer to home.
How did your wife feel about the transfer?
Same thing. She's very supportive. It helped. We didn't have a whole lot of choice, obviously, in the matter, so it makes it easy.
Well, I read about Paul Ryan pushing an act that got an additional $875,000 to go towards those who were impacted. Now, does that benefit you at all, or is that only for people still laid off?
No, that's people that are still involved in the TRA program, which is the Trade Readjustment Act. So that's money that they would get. Now, you could either use that money, I think, to go to school, help pay for retraining, or they do have a provision of that for transfers and stuff. But that's like a one-time thing, and I had used some schooling for that about a year ago, so when this all started. But it will benefit people that are currently still laid off that haven't left yet or are in the process of leaving.
So what is it coming down to? Like, are the people who are still here, are they being forced to leave, or is it like a split option where you have to choose between leaving your home or having nothing that you worked 20 fucking years for?
Yeah, so they've pretty much gone down through the list now. They forced everybody that was on active status. I know the last time I had heard they were back into the early 70s in seniority. So there's not anybody really left. There's some people that are on sick leave or workers' comp maybe that are still in the area. But other than that, if you were on active status, you got a forced letter or you volunteered somewhere. There's pretty much no one left.
So what is that lifestyle like? Like, what is it like to just up and leave? You know what I mean? I don't know how to ask the question.
It's different. No, I mean, it's very different. Took some getting used to. Kind of felt like we're on vacation for the longest time, but starting to settle in now. I mean, it is what it is, you know. That's the way things go sometimes. But
now, did they give you the same trade you've been doing, or did you kind of have to pick whatever was left over for you?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were cutting out there.
Oh, sorry. So, are you doing the same job you've been doing, or did you kind of just have to pick up the leftovers of what was left?
It's pretty much just what's there. It's very similar. I mean, I worked in an assembly plant, same as I did in Lordstown, so it's very similar.
Are this might sound like a rude question, I don't know. The plant that you've transferred to, are they accepting of you guys?
Yeah, they were. I mean, as a whole, there were some mixed feelings about it because we come in and
now your seniority
going on now
because of like you still have your seniority, right?
Yeah, correct. So but there's a lot of temporary workers that worked up here and a lot of other plants, and so General Motors has been dragging along these temps for years and years, some of them 5-6 years. You know, that's all part of this, what the strike is all about anyway. But they, these employees thought they were going to get hired and everything, and then all the plant closings, they had to shuffle everybody around and it forced these temporary people out of their openings.
So now you got some people bitter with you.
Sure. And I think most of them get it, that, you know, it's not our choice.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, when
Motors is made,
push comes to shove, you got to provide for your family. I mean, I'm not trying to force the next guy out, but I got to look out for me. So what? Yeah,
it's a shitty situation, but
what are you guys striking for? I know what we're reading, but I want to know, like, in your opinion, what is it that we're trying to get? Because you're on, what, day 13 now?
Yeah. So a lot of it's the use of temporary workers. You know, there's well over 1,000 that we have at our plant here.
Holy shit, dude!
I want to say it was like 7 or 8% of General Motors employees are temporary workers, and they string them along for 5-6 years. You know, they have I think they have 1 or 2 days they can call off, and they don't get paid holidays for the most part, and
so they pretty much
terrible. I mean, they pay them.
They get treated like shit, but they're expected to perform.
Yeah, basically, exactly.
All right, so anybody listening, this is all just opinions. Charlie is not don't take his word. We got to put it out there that you're not like bashing anything. This is all opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
What is Alexis?
So that's a big part of it is the temporary workers, the wages and everything's another one. I mean, the money's there, and it's just we took a lot of concessions, you know, in 2007, 2008, the bankruptcy, and then that stuff never been returned. So most of the stuff that everybody's asking for isn't stuff it's stuff that we already lost.
Yeah, you know? Stuff that they took from you. All right, so when we actually, that's kind of how our union played out. When we, in 2018, they took a bunch of shit away from us. So then we unionized, and then in 2019, we tried to get that shit back. But we, obviously, first contract, it didn't work out. So you guys are just trying to get shit that they took away.
Basically, yep.
Is Lordstown is there any hope for Lordstown?
I would like to think there is, but from what I've been hearing the last couple of days, it doesn't really sound good. I know that they were throwing around a battery production facility there for these electric vehicles, and that stuff's typically a joint venture with another company. It's not usually UAW jobs. They're typically make half the wages we do. It's not the same type of work. So for the area, it might be, a decent replacement, but it's not for any workers that work there. It's not going to be anything viable.
What's the atmosphere like where you're at right now?
You mean as far as along the picket line?
Yes.
It's good. It's good, and I feel like people think that we feel like we have the power this time, and it's just waiting it out now. That's all.
How long?
The way it's designed to work, and it's worked that way for years. So, what's that?
How long do you foresee this going?
Man, that's a good question. I wish I knew. I don't see it coming to an end real quick. I mean, especially if we expect to get any of the gains that we're wanting. They're just not willing to budge at all on it. So, no, I think it's been quite a few years since we've had all these benefits we've lost, and now it's getting to the point where they're just getting used to it and don't want to give it up. But the money's there. It's important to know that a lot of what's put out there by the company and everything, that they make it seem like it's going to break them, and it's not there. But like I said, all this stuff was done for 40 years before, now, and now they're making record profits. They can afford to.
Oh, yeah, no, I looked at their stock profile, and they're actually going up. Even with you guys on strike, their portfolio is still rising.
Yeah, well, just since I started in 2017, the CEO of GM made $8.5 million a year, and in 2018, Mary Barra made $22 million.
That is her name, Mary Barra.
While our salaries have remained the same, we've lost cost of living, and some people actually make less than they did at that time.
What did you say Mary Barra makes?
$22 million last year.
All right, so that equates to wow. That's a couple $100,000 a day.
It's like 208. I think it's like 218 times the average auto worker salary. So the wage gap between CEOs and executives and workers is just unreal how it's growing over the years. And it's not General Motors. It's everywhere.
It's nationwide. Yeah, it's every company.
Yeah.
The CEO just doesn't realize without the backbone of your company, you don't have a job.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is
it's terrible because especially the temporary workers, a lot of them, they're living in poverty basically and strung along with no days off or anything. Well, they're just enjoying these multi-million-dollar salaries at their expense.
Oh, no doubt. And they don't, the temps don't have any medical coverage or any of that shit either.
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't know, man. I just wanted to call to see. I want people to know exactly what you're going through, because what we're reading isn't what I believe is going on. You know what I mean?
No, that's the truth of it too. There's a lot of what you hear on the news it's skewed in a certain direction. You know what I mean? It's not exactly every bit of information.
Right? Yeah, they're gonna paint the picture in the light.
And all news is like that about everything, but
now. How about the city? Is the city supporting you guys? Do you guys have local support outside of GM?
Yeah, and that really what surprised me the most, actually. The support up here is overwhelming. We had some support maybe down in Ohio too, but it's just it just wasn't the same. Like there was more people out against it for some reason. I just don't understand how the worker become the target of all this. How could you defend a multi-billion-dollar corporation and stick up for them over workers? I just don't get it. But up here, you could definitely see that it's Vehicle City, and it's the birthplace of automotive manufacturing, and
right, yeah,
a lot of support in the town. It is something to see.
I feel like, the workforce culture has changed drastically over the last maybe 15 years. I know that you used to get, incentives, and you used to get, care packages and shit like that. And now your paycheck is your incentive.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure repeat that question. I'm not really sure where you were getting at there.
Do you feel like you're not appreciated as a worker? Obviously, you guys are on strike because of certain reasons, but do you feel like GM sees you as only a number and you're expendable?
Well, I feel like what they did is they divided everybody up, Chris. They're not bargaining against one group of people now, the workers, like they were before. They've divided us up into temporary workers, or tier 2 in progression workers, and then traditional workers. So you're working next to people that have benefits that you don't have, or pay that you don't have. So then it gets people more at odds against themselves.
Oh no, yeah, because they're creating
a company, right?
They're creating a division among the people.
They create division, yep. Yeah, and that's all part of their plan to do that. Obviously, I mean that's they're doing what they set out to do, and that's divide people, because as more people are divided, they less are able to stick together on issues. So
what is it? United we stand, divided we fall, right?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing behind the union. I mean, it's in their UAW's constitution, is equal pay. So that's exactly what we're on strike for right now, is equal pay amongst everybody. Everybody should make the same wages and have the same benefits.
I agree. Do you have you heard anything about whether or not we're coming to a resolution?
I got to repeat that again. Bad signal.
Have you heard anything about whether or not you guys are coming to a resolution?
It sounds like it's getting closer as far as the news. They don't tell us absolutely anything, so pretty much what you see on the news is what I know. But
which is crazy.
Sounds like it may be getting closer, but there's some big hang-ups, so who knows how long that will take. But
are you guys being compensated while you're on strike?
Well, I haven't even received one yet, but we do receive a strike fund check, which is like $250 a week.
So,
and then the union also picks up our benefits, our health care. So,
well, I read in the newspaper that GM plans to continue your health care while you're on strike. I don't know if that was just to paint a pretty picture.
Well, so that's also a little like typically the company will pay your health care until the end of the month. Whatever time the strike falls, and they pay to the end of the month, and then the union picks up the tab from there on out. So General Motors just canceled our insurance without any knowledge given to the union about it, so they weren't able to get the COBRA started. There's a couple week process to get the supplemental insurance in place, and they just canceled it abruptly, so they didn't have time to do that. So that announcement yesterday was just they're going to pick up the tab for our insurance, but it's only going to be to the end of the month, and then the union picks it up anyway. So once again, it's a headline that sounds how they want it to sound, but not really how it is.
Yeah, man, I really, I don't know what else to say, man. This is a shitty situation.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, though. I really do. I think it's a good thing. It's time that to get stuff back, and hopefully it goes that way. I mean, people fought for these benefits years ago when they never existed at all,
All right, yeah.
Weekends off, paid holidays, labor laws, overtime pay, all those things never existed until unions came and fought for them. So if they could get those things from nothing, then we could get them back.
Well, we are definitely in support of you on this long fight you're going on. I know that I can't really offer too much help from here in Warren, Ohio, but I hope that you guys are doing fine.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you guys.
I'm pretty sure this conversation should sway anybody who has doubts about this strike. But I appreciate you hopping on with us. It was good talking to you. We're gonna go ahead and get off of here. All right.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
All right. Talk to you later, Charlie.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
I really hope that conversation helps anybody who thinks that this strike might be, for nothing. They're putting up a good fight. They're gonna keep fighting. Teamsters backs them all the way. I was reading about I've been told personally about how we're not transporting vehicles for GM. I hope that they get what they deserve. Because that $250 a month, I don't know, Danny, what do you think? Where would we be?
Probably the nicest cardboard box in Warren.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, we would be living in a cardboard box. Let's drive on to a more light subject. Marvel, all right? Marvel and Disney. They plan on shelving Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. What do you think of that?
I mean, Captain Marvel is okay. I'm not a big Captain Marvel fan. I know that it made a shit ton of money for them and, it's girl power and everything, but...
I think the girl power was a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
I don't care. That's not my type of superhero.
I know that she made $1.1 billion for them, and I think they got 5 more movies on the contract, whatever.
Yeah, they should probably stick with the contract. That's fine. But speaking of MCU and everything, did you hear about the Spider-Man franchise?
What, how they're not doing it, or
that they're going to be still working with MCU for a little bit? They didn't say how long, but they are planning to do another movie in 2021.
What are the details? Do you know?
No, that was all they gave me.
Really? Yeah. So what about Robert Downey Jr.? Are they scrapping the idea of bringing him back?
I don't know. They didn't touch base on that unless they did. That I just didn't see.
All right. I don't know. It's been a busy fucking week with the entertainment world. Ariana Grande. This is fucking crazy, man. Her management team has to. They had this tough choice of trying to pick which of her songs they were gonna submit for a Grammy, which actually is kind of a tough choice. Could you imagine if they picked the wrong one? You know, because they went with like 7 Rings and then That Boyfriend. But some people argue that Thank You Next probably should have been in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I did like Thank You Next, but 7 Rings was pretty banging too. So.
What did you think about Thank You, Jeff?
Well,
Thank
if
you,
that could have came
Jeff.
for a Grammy, but
That's dope. Anybody who knows about the Jeff Goldblum Thank You, Jeff parody, that was pretty funny.
That was like...
Who made that? That was funny.
What's his name? Dang.
Doesn't he do that like Midnight Taxi Drive or whatever? Like karaoke taxi?
I don't know who
Taxi
does that.
karaoke? I don't know.
Well,
we don't watch much of the midnight shows,
No.
so apparently we don't know who that is.
all right. Well,
All right. Greg T. Did you want to talk about him?
No, I was going to speak about another famous person, but go ahead.
Greg T. from the Elvis Duran in the Morning Show is leaving after 25 years. 24, 25. They've been tossing both those numbers around, so after
long time.
24 and a half years. Who did you want to talk about, Danny?
Well, did you hear about the Cardi B Me Too thing going around?
No
basically
fucking
calling her
idea.
a liar.
About what?
So, story short, she was telling in like an interview, I don't know with who, but she said she was getting photographed for a magazine and the photographer like whipped out his junk and
What?
I assume he wanted her to do something, and then she said that if you want to be in this magazine, you'll do whatever I say, and then she said that she told the owner of the magazine and they said so.
So this is like a Weinstein magazine type of thing?
I don't know, but like there was a lot of mixed reactions. Like some, I don't even think they're fans if they're hating on her, but some people are saying like she lied about it. But in all honesty, like I can see it kind of happening, but I don't know if it's the way she portrayed it because it was like a nonchalant thing.
Why would they say she's lying about it though?
I don't know. They think she wants to jump on the Me Too bandwagon.
But I was always under the assumption that if a girl claims something like that, it should probably be taken seriously until it's proven incorrect.
Not always, though. There's some crazy bitches out there.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean,
But I'm not
it.
saying everyone's a liar, because there are some nasty-ass men, too.
Alicia Keys and Louis Capaldi. I don't know where this was. I heard it on the Elvis Duran show. They performed that Someone You Loved. And that motherfucker has the, like, even live, his voice, oh my god, Danny would go ape shit. She thought the Bruno concert was good. I think Louis Capaldi.
That'd be fun.
He got a weird fucking, some of his words are a little off though. Because, obviously he's not American, so he's got that rough accent.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he's got a fucking voice, man. He's something else. Where are we going, Danny? Where are we taking this show?
Well, I just want to, it's not really, was a famous person, but I don't know if you saw, like, this Florida officer arrested 2 6-year-olds last week.
Why?
All we have is they were acting out, maybe in class or something. I don't know. They didn't go further into details. They were more outraged that the officer didn't follow protocol. He was supposed to notify a supervisor before. I mean, I don't even know how you arrest little 6-year-olds. Like,
yeah, I don't. Does the handcuff even go that small?
I have no. Maybe it does.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Obviously, he was suspended and then fired.
What? They suspended the kids from school?
No.
I'm just fucking. So I have to. All right. So earlier this week, my beautiful wife said something about one of my favorite musicians having a kid, and I was like, that's some fucking bullshit. That's probably just some promo for a new CD or something.
Well, you also said the Greg T thing too.
Well, guess what? What do you got, Danny? Who is having a kid?
Black Bear.
Motherfucking Black Bear.
Which I never would have thought. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, honestly.
No, I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure she was not a girlfriend, but she's probably gonna be
a girlfriend now.
She's probably gonna be on the payroll from here on out. Let's see what we got. The impeachment. It's being, talked about a lot. President Trump might be impeached over that, what is it? What was it?
The Ukrainian, I don't know. It was based on, I think, a phone call that he was trying to,
investigate?
Look into, Joe Biden and his son for, I don't even know what that was about.
Why are they, all right, so trying to look into somebody, how is that illegal enough for impeachment?
I don't know. I don't follow politics.
I don't
This is not a politics podcast.
He said all right, so President Trump is looking for answers about which staffer told the whistleblower about the conversation. And he is calling the leaker a spy. Dude.
He's just acting.
Stop pointing the finger, man. Somebody actually suggested that we start, instead of Today I Learn, we start reading President Trump tweets.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'd rather not. I don't want to dumb.
Hate.
We're gonna dumb down that podcast a little too far. Fuck that, man. Okay. Fuck that.
Another thing. I don't know if you remember the Dallas cop Amber Geiger, who shot her down. It was upstairs neighbor. Yeah.
Off duty.
She was off duty. She was in her whole police gear. She walked into his apartment and shot him.
Claimed that she thought he was in her apartment? Yeah.
Okay, so her trial began.
All right.
And I'm not going to go into further detail, really, maybe just a little backstory. She's claiming that, obviously, she thought someone was in her apartment because they're seriously, neighbors on top of each other. But I don't believe it because she also had a romantic relationship with this guy. Yeah.
Oh.
But she's never went to his apartment. How the fuck? Excuse my language. How do you not go to your romantic partner's apartment when you're seriously above? How do you meet? That's what I want to know. But anyways, that's
maybe he always came to her house.
I wish I showed you this video, but you were working and I had to get blood work this morning. But did you hear about the judge on this case? I guess she was in disbelief, that the district attorney did an interview the night before whatever the trial, and they had a gag order in place for both sides.
What do you mean gag order?
They're not allowed to speak about the case at all.
Oh shit.
And she district attorney had no comment, but obviously the defense is gonna bring that out, hey, there was a gag order and everything. It did not get a mistrial, but the jury was, what did they say? I can't even think, but basically secluded. I don't think they got to hear that part of the evidence. The DA
all right.
gave they said a short interview. Doesn't matter. It's still a damn gag order. But the look she gives all these people, and then just looks down away from. She can't even believe. I have to show this video after.
Oh yeah. So all right. So earlier this week, I was telling Danny about how another man had been arrested in connection with the case of Mac Miller's death, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I told her about this fella named Ryan Revis, and then she's like, second. Well, I'm reading about the third man who was arrested. I don't have that fella's name. I don't know if you wrote it down or not.
No, I didn't. I figured you would talk all about it.
So I'm pretty sure that Ryan Revis, what'd you say? He was the middleman. He was the guy trying to make a couple bucks off of Mac Miller.
I think the runner was the guy, we can't think of the name. And then there was...
No, Ryan Revis was the runner. The dealer was the guy that I can't think of the name.
Okay, so who's the third guy, Chris?
No, he done been long. Oh, I don't know. I guess there's... Oh!
The middleman, the runner, and the dealer.
The dealer. All right, so Ryan Revis was the middleman.
Yeah.
All right. It's been a while. I don't know much about that game no more.
You don't know anything about that game.
Correct. So I was watching... All right, so I hate when people use the term watching this podcast.
Yeah.
Kind of bothers me.
We're not a visual podcast.
It's kind of an...
I don't want to be if everyone keeps bringing it up. Chris keeps kind of running into the head. I don't want people to watch me talk.
All right, so there's a good chance
I to sit in,
comfort.
My comfort.
All right, so there's a good chance that we're going to have...
I don't want to get makeup on at 7 in the morning. I'm not looking like a hot mess either, so...
There might be times that we do, just a live snippets.
Maybe.
But what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Shit. Oh, all right, so I was listening. I wasn't watching. I was listening to episode number 159 of a show called An Acquired Taste. Kathleen is talking about what she had learned for the week, and you're not going to fucking believe this. a court had ruled that if a human dials your number and then transfers it off to a robot, it is no longer considered spam. That is not a spam call because a human dialed the number. And some of these shady apps that you guys are downloading actually have in their agreement status that they can sell off your information to those third parties who like to spam call you.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, speaking of bullshit, DoorDash, I don't know if you saw that.
No, what?
The millions of users getting data
another
breached.
data
Yep.
breach. Man, what the fuck?
I'm about to not even go on any freaking...
Next thing I know,
apps.
Domino's is going to get,
I know,
get corrupted.
I swear to God, because we order from them all the time.
Let's see. We got...
Okay, so let's see.
Beyonce wants to fucking trademark Blue Ivy's name. Which
Yeah.
I find that to be bullshit. You can't trademark a fucking name.
Oh, you mean you can because the Kardashians been doing it forever.
Yeah, but Blue Ivy is like a kid. How is she a cultural icon? Is it a she?
Yes, it's she.
Alright, yeah, it's a weird name. I don't know.
I don't know.
Blue seems like a boy color.
So the Super Bowl halftime show, I don't know if you saw, they're advertising 2 singers.
Who?
It's going to be, obviously we heard about J-Lo.
Yeah, so J-Lo was teased a couple weeks ago.
And then I just found out last night, Shakira is going to be on there.
Oh.
And I think they'll do very well
All right,
together.
so I do believe they'll do well together, but these are 2 artists that nobody's fucked with in how many years?
They're running out of artists, Chris, and honestly...
Why? Because nobody gives a fuck anymore.
Because they're trying to accommodate everyone other than, just mainstream, like, J-Lo's not about, like, gangbanging and doing bad stuff.
Oh, yeah, could you imagine getting, like, YG, The Game,
and Cardi B on
Yeah. Oh, no, that would be a hell of a halftime show. You have Bloods and Crips going at each other. You don't even know who's playing football. Get the fuck out of here.
So, on a side note, nothing, like, news related. I just want to say that I'm so happy. It has been, now we're in the fall season. I'm all about fall. So, I just want to know, what's your favorite thing about the fall season?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
What is my favorite thing?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about fall, and I discovered this the other day, yesterday morning, they put these fucking fall TV programs back on because you're going to watch them during the fall, i.e. The Connors, or The Kids All Right, or South Park, which everybody, if you don't watch South Park, you probably should. What is your favorite thing about fall?
Well, I tell you this all the
Milady?
time. Oh my God, shut up. I love when the leaves start changing, the oranges and reds and yellow. I love driving through just to look at everything. And obviously my pumpkin products, my pumpkin lattes and everything under the sun.
I actually had one question for you because of... Alright, so this past week, there was something called One Hit Wonder Day. Okay?
I did kind of see that.
It was on Wednesday. What is your one hit wonder?
Oh, come on, Chris. Why didn't you tell me this so I can think
get
of it?
knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna get me down.
I can't think of one.
Pissing the night away.
What? No.
No? Alright, so she drinks a whiskey drink, she drinks a lager drink. Alright, so Danny might not have one because
Yeah,
I
don't
not.
have a whole lot of one-hit wonders.
I did not bring this up to her prior to
no.
this. God damn, I'm a fucking idiot.
I have no idea. I don't know of any really one-hit wonders.
What about that Food Network thing? Did you read about that?
No.
You don't remember me talking to you about that?
Well, if it was that morning, I was half asleep and
All right.
I wanted to be shut up. So
Food Network is launching an app with Amazon. Okay, it's going to be called Food Network Kitchen. And what it is, it's going to be like live, interactive, instructional videos on cooking. The Amazon part actually comes into play because if you need ingredients, guess who you can order them from?
Amazon.
Amazon. They're pretty much in everything. I don't know, guys. 40 minutes. I know 20 minutes. 20
still
minutes
have
was.
some
I know.
stuff
I know. We
left.
still got some stuff, but we're probably gonna be coming to an
Yeah,
end
we're
here
gonna
soon.
wrap up. Hopefully in next. 15
We might
minutes.
actually be able to make it to our normal bedtime too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're just rushing through this because we are tired, but we still wanted to give.
Yeah, we want to be
a
consistent.
podcast.
We are a Saturday weekly talk.
Okay.
Uh,
So did you? I know Mitchell keeps bringing up the vaping thing.
Vaping.
I'm just gonna bring up like most relevant things right now. Like the Joel Labs CEO. Did you see he stepped down?
Negative.
And he was replaced by Casey Crossweight.
No
who
way.
happened to be used. He used to work for Altria.
That's the company that owns Philip Morris, isn't it?
Well, that's the American side, yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
There was a whole deal on the side note. The Altria and no, Philip Morris is a different company. They own Marlboro. Two separate companies own Marlboro.
Yeah, for like international distribution.
Yeah,
or whatnot.
Philip Morris owns the international part, and then Altria owns the American side. And they were trying to do a merger deal, but then that fell through. But anyways, this guy was working there, so he is now the new CEO for now. But why is it when there's some shit going down, the CEO steps down like it's his fault every single time? Something, it don't matter. Like, I don't know.
Shit rolls downhill. You have to start at the top for that shit to roll downhill.
But it was about I'm assuming it's about, I think it's 12 people that died from the vaping, and they did mention that it could possibly be from THC products.
What?
That's what they're thinking from the CDC's perspective, because most of the people that have been affected by this vaping.
So they're smoking the CBD shit, that cannabis oil.
Yes, I don't know if there's something in there. Obviously, I don't think it's the cannabis, but like maybe some product they're putting in. Like I was telling you, the vitamin E derivative, maybe. I don't know. But we're still waiting for more.
All my vaping friends, you know who you are. Listen to what the fuck she's saying. So this is pretty crazy shit.
And I'm not saying I know. Like I'm just following. I've been like watching hard about the CDC and everything. So, I mean, I'm just as close as everyone else about what the hell is going on. But
damn it! I dropped my phone. If you heard that, do you want to go storm Area 51?
They already did that, did they not?
Oh shit! Never mind, guys.
I was like, that's in September. You're way.
We're still in September.
Dude, that was like in the middle of September.
Dude,
we're almost in like October.
Who the fuck are you calling dude? First of all, and second of all, did you read about Google, or is it Android? What is it? What is Google? What is Google game? Where's their store?
Google Play.
Google Play has announced something to compete with that Apple Plus bullshit. For $4.99 a month, you have unlimited access to up to 350 games and apps. So I don't know who that benefits, but it's out there for you.
That's pretty cool. All right, I have one more topic to talk about, and this is like a last minute Google search that I didn't even know I was looking for until I saw it. So it's called the company Mylon. You might have heard them like a couple years ago, like the controversy of the EpiPen and how they were charging ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
So I guess they were in a lawsuit with the SEC for classifying their drug as a generic drug rather than a name brand. So they wouldn't have to pay that much like rebates on it because they were reporting this to Medicaid as a generic drug instead of name brand. If it's name brand, you have to pay higher rebate fees. So they ended up paying $30 million, which is probably nothing compared to what they make, back to the SEC.
What is that?
I abbreviated.
Blah blah blah.
I abbreviated it. I don't know.
All right. So I got two things in the music world. Okay.
Okay.
Now this has happened before, so I knew it was gonna happen again. But the Clickies, the 21 Pilot fans, are claiming the Chainsmokers are jockeying 21 Pilots' style. They're saying that if you didn't get an opportunity to buy a sold-out ticket for the 21 Pilots, go see a Chainsmokers show because they pretty much copied everything that Josh Dun and Tyler Joseph do. There's actually a meme because somebody got Josh Dunn's girlfriend, what's her name, Debbie Ryan. Somebody got her to reply. And they said to her, they're like, hey, Debbie Ryan, how's it feel to know that the Chainsmokers are copying everything that Josh Dunn and Tyler do? She said, the who? So I'm a fan of both. I'm not going to knock either one, but I've heard that before. They right around the time that Lane Boy came out, Chainsmokers dropped a song called Sick Boy. Yeah, pretty similar. And then another thing. Yeah, you do. Danny took off her headphones because she hears Samuel in the background whining.
I think it was Minnie, too.
Which, by the way, I do have a little clip that I'm going to add to this of my fucking cat. I remember telling you guys about how my fucking cat meows like retarded. Well, I got it. I got him meowing for his fucking food. So earlier this week, there was an interview with Nick Cannon. And people had brought up his beef with Eminem. And Nick Cannon said that he, as a newly married guy to Mariah Carey at the time, he had to prove himself. But he was praying to God that proving himself didn't mean to have a rap battle with Eminem, because he knew that there was no way you're going to out-rap Eminem. So unfortunately, it turned out the way he didn't want it to, and he had a rap battle and lost.
I don't know if you saw, he's going to be getting his own talk show now.
No shit.
Yep.
I read something about Charlie Sheen. ABC was trying to give him his own show, for him to agree to go on that, what is it, like Masked? The Masked, like, singer or dancer? So maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I guess you dance and sing a song, and then if you lose, you have to take off your mask.
No, never
so
heard
people
of it.
know who you are.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nope.
But if he denied his own TV show, he must really
Love being
be horrible.
No, I'm kidding.
He must be
more money than I
horrible
have.
at singing. Today I learned, Danielle, what you got? Do you have one?
I do.
All right, you
so
go first.
it's kind of weird, and I did not find the Reddit thing.
Wouldn't expect it to not be weird coming from you.
All right, so today I learned after a male honeybee climaxes, his testicles explode and he dies.
All right, so that's fucked up. He dies after? Isn't there another animal, another bug that after they get off, the wife kills them?
It's the girl, not the wife. They're not married, but yeah, they bite her head. That's the spider.
I gotta ask you a
praying
question.
mantis.
Next week, it was actually asked of us this week. We did actually get a suggestion. There was a recent interview on the Breakfast Club. I don't remember who the girl was, but they want us to watch this interview so we can talk about it. It's talking about how the role should be with a woman and man in a relationship. Should the woman be submissive? Should the man be in charge? So we're going to watch that interview, and we're going to talk about that next week. You just brought it up because of the whole...
Yeah, that's kind of... yeah, I guess if you got that from a male honeybee's balls...
Did you hear about that fucking bitch who... Not bitch. My bad. Did you hear about that woman who chased her dog into the petting zoo and ended up in a camel's pen?
No.
No?
No.
For real?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
All right, so she's chasing her dog. She's trying to get her dog. She ends up in this petting zoo, and she's in the playpen for a camel. And the camel started to get scared and sat on her. How did she get this camel to unsit her?
Put a finger in his butt?
She bit his balls.
Oh my god.
That is absurd, man. So now you know, if you're ever stuck with the camel, bite his balls. Bite his balls, how we feeling? Alright, today I learned that there are at least 12 DC and Marvel characters that have been based on Hindu gods. And even Gandhi is mentioned in Marvel.
That's pretty interesting.
If you're listening to this, Maida Gandhi from the Elvis Duran in the Morning Show, your grandfather is mentioned in Marvel.
And whoever got a nice personalized letter from us, I
Woo!
can't wait to talk about it next week because we don't want to ruin this.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it because not everybody got it yet. So obviously some of you people posted the pictures, which I appreciate, and that's so fucking cool. I'm happy that you appreciated it. Well, we're at that mark. Here you go. You're going to listen to my cat, and then you're going to listen to our outro. So as always, it's been What the Fuck, Danny and Chris.
Weekly talk.
Weekly talk. Am I ever going to not be corrected? I don't know. You have to listen to the next episode.
Because I stare off into space during this time.
She's so fucking... Oh. She's tired, guys. Sorry for the lack of content. Sorry if it felt rushed.
We'll do better next week.
We will do better next week because I'll call off on Saturday. See you later.
Bye.
So you remember how I said my cat, he acts when he's hungry? Alright, so listen to his meow. He could do this all day long.
Please remember to subscribe, follow, and email us at WTFDaveandChris@gmail.com.